I was born on the 1929 Elliott Avenue, April 2, 1918. My full name is Gail Eleanor Carlson Olson and Fiedler. My mother would not let my father call me Abigail. Yeah, sort of. Well, Lorraine was working overtime or studying overtime in architecture. And she would forget stuff all the time. And Dad would have to bring me over to the U, and I'd have to run up in this dark old building and give her whatever. And the guys started calling me Windy because I'd come in, I'd dump the stuff, and I'd leave because that building just gave me the creeps.
What building was that?
Architecture at the U. I can't remember Grandpa's, but Grandma's was Anne, and their last name was Lilliengren.
That's funny. Lilliengren?
Yeah, because it was spelled with a J, and that's how it was pronounced, a Y in Swedish.
Did your father immigrate?
Yes.
Sweden? Okay.
He was 12 years old when he came over. Grandma.
Grandma?
Grandma Ann.
What do you remember most about her?
She was picking up the slang of the Americans, and as usual, they kind of got jumbled with the Swedish. And I can remember her sitting in the kitchen talking to Mom, and all of a sudden she'd say, "Oh, for the every more." Who had chores?
You didn't have chores?
I was the end of 7 kids. Okay. There weren't many chores left.
Okay, so you didn't really have any chores then.
Didn't you have to go down and put coal in the furnace?
No, because you had to carry it from the coal bin over to the furnace. It was too far and too heavy for me. Oh, come on.
Too many?
Yeah.
What's your favorite invention?
Oh, the automobile.
The automobile. Okay, well, that's a good choice.
That's a poser. I think it's speeded up a lot, beyond description. The first thing I can remember, really remember, is being able to sleep in a double bed with my sister Lorraine.
And was that in...
It beats the crib a long way, believe me.
Was that back in what I would know as Lorraine's bedroom?
Sure.
In the back of the house? Okay.
Remember the expression, tighten your belt? Well, that's what we did.
Around your Elliott Avenue home, did you have to do with less? Maybe not Grammy Grandma Hall that didn't entertain as much?
Oh, well, that's for sure. But they always had open house on their wedding anniversary. That I remember. Because my cousins from South Dakota would come to celebrate because Uncle Harry was just a little bit younger than Dad. And so they had, because their wedding anniversary was New Year's Eve, it was a big time to come to the big city. So, my doll, Jack, was a stuffed thing about, 16 inches high, and Jack walked with me wherever I went. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, Jack jump over the candlestick. As a child? We never played any games when I was a child.
Really?
Except we played hide and seek at night. I went to the same grade school my mother did. Garfield Grade School. It was on Chicago Avenue between 22nd and 24th. Yeah, through 6th grade. Then we went to junior high. That was on 24th and 11th. Wendell Phillips Junior High.
Well, did you walk to school every day?
Every day.
Yep. Rain, snow, sunshine?
You got it. I don't know.
You know,
Probably recess.
Recess?
That's what Grandpa said.
Geography.
Geography? Why is that?
I don't know.
You know, just wasn't your favorite?
I can't remember their names. Oh, Miss Bellamy. She was my homeroom teacher as well as one of my teachers throughout this year.
What did you like about her?
Well, for one thing, she was a lot younger than all the other ones. So that put her down pretty well. Ooh, she's nice, she's young. We like that. Through high school and at business college. Minnesota School of Business. Where else?
All right.
Passing.
Is that what happened to me?
What? Nothing particular. I just like going to school. You know, had plenty of friends and stuff like that. You think I can remember that far back? My first date? I can't even remember that.
No?
Must have made a big impression, huh?
Yeah, apparently.
My father's name? Emmanuel Fish. Can never pronounce the name. It was spelled so that you would sound Frithiof, but I think it was pronounced Fritjof.
Fritjof.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Fritjof Carlson.
Carlson. Warren, Margie, Phyllis, Douglas, and me. I was what they call the mail girl. I handed out mail and to the tenants, and I'd have to box it in their little cubby holes. You know, they'd give me a pack, and I'd send there and stick it in all the patty holes. I can't remember the year, but we got married in Emmanuel Lutheran Church. I know that my girlfriend from high school and her aunt were there, Marilla and Aunt Beth.
Where did you go?
Duluth. Drove up the North Shore for a while. Yeah, he was in the service.
Do you remember
In
what
the
he did?
Pacific.
Do you remember what he did?
Yeah, he flew planes.
He
And
was
where and when, I don't know.
As I recall,
He
he
was
told me.
stationed at Tinian. He and his wife, Marge, went to the same church I did. We had become friends.
What church was that?
First, Svenska Tabernaklet.
Is that really what it was called?
Huh?
Is that really what it was called?
It was called the Swedish Tabernacle.
Oh, okay.
Which eventually became
Oh, yeah.
First Covenant Church.
Of course, I would have joined in with a bunch of other churches. Well, they were very nice people, and like so many others, they felt sorry for the girls that didn't have the boyfriends, and they'd have us over for dinner, and very often, a bunch of us would go out for dinner on Sunday after church. And we would be anywhere from 10 to 14 people. And that's how we got to know each other really well.
How old were you guys when he proposed?
Old enough to know better. I remember when Phil first met him, Phyllis and Marge. And the next day Phyllis said to me, "Where did you meet that guy?" And she was all smiles when she said it. So, you know, I can't even remember the day we were married. But we were married at 1929 Elliott home, sweet home. Actually, we didn't really go on a honeymoon, but about the next year or so, we took a trip through Canada and back down the west coast and home. Well, all I would say is that he was just an ordinary guy, nothing spectacular about how handsome he was or anything like that. And he was just an easy guy to know. Well, I would say that continue the love you started out with and let it grow. That's it. Just take care of each other each day.